So, once again, I thought this would be a simple review, where I get to make fun of a spoof Tetris game that cheats and mocks you. But let's talk about Wesleyan Tetris and how it came to be. This game was made in 1989 and is officially Tetris by Randall, which might seem like an odd title until you realize one important thing about this game. It's not technically finished. It's a polished development version, yes, but it never saw its intended commercial release. However, it got leaked, and that's the reason you're looking at it now. It then went by many different names from people to differentiate it from normal Tetris. New Tetris, Rude Tetris, Obnoxious Tetris, Attitude Problem Tetris, Wise-Ass Tetris, Asshole Tetris.
This machine just called me an asshole!
The most famous name is Wesleyan Tetris, after Randall Cook's university. The official name it goes under from Randall himself nowadays is Original Supertris. The name change won't be enough. I've seen Quinn go down due to the Tetris Company's C&Ds. I'd keep a lookout, my dude. But this is 1989, before we had to peer for lawyers behind our backs constantly. The first thing you get, besides a War Games reference, is this About screen, which can get one of two responses. Polite?
Why, thank you.
Or downright hostile.
Well, fuck you, then.
Yeah, this game lets you know some of what you're in for right from the beginning. Now, from the nicknames I've given you, you can probably guess this version of Tetris isn't the nicest to the player. Firstly, the game continually taunts you for bad moves, yells at you, and makes all sorts of crass sounds. I haven't heard so many weird mouth noises since Crystal Crazy. Yes, even Randall Cook describes it as the one with all the burps and farts on his official blog. For the first level, you may think this is just a noisy version of Tetris. Then the cheating kicks in. Oh boy, does the computer have a plethora of ways to cheat you. There's the subtle, like messing with your score display to distract you. There's the insidious, like throwing a fake piece into your next indicator, just seldom enough that you can't just stop believing it. Then there's the things it does on the field, which are downright blatant, and it will taunt you about it. They can add blocks or move blocks, make new rows, throw bizarrely, and sometimes crudely shaped pieces at you, start a playfield with blocks already inside, visible or not. I'm not even entirely sure if that's all the ways it can cheat. What I'm saying is the game has plenty of tricks up its sleeve.
Cheating bitch.
But what's fun about a Tetris game that cheats all the time, I hear you ask? Well, that's actually what I thought too. I thought I'd be saying the phrase, "Who thought that was a good idea?" There's several different things that turn the cheating into a mechanic that actually makes the game more fun.
The concept was created by a madman!
Firstly, aside from occasionally lying about what piece is next and giving you really weird pieces, there's only one type of cheating per level as far as I can tell. So once the computer starts to cheat on a level, you'll know what to expect. Secondly, the cheating is on a timer. The computer only cheats once every few seconds or so. This means it will often benefit you to lay down pieces fast before the computer's next move. Third, and probably most important, the game works on a level system, and not in the way that most Tetris games do. You see, in most Tetris games, the game continues and the pieces just get faster, and that's where your challenge comes from. In this game, your challenge is to make a certain amount of lines while the computer messes with your game the whole time. If you do that, you get a nice bonus, especially if there's not many pieces left, and a clean slate for the next level. Mostly. To sum things up, in Wesleyan Tetris, the computer cheats in new ways as you advance, and you'll be expected to clear more lines before you get some mercy again. So it actually feels rewarding to get past the computer's cheating, and there's a method to the madness, so it doesn't feel horrendously chaotic. The cheating aspect is actually done quite ingeniously, and that's the last thing I expected to say. However, it does have its cons. For one thing, the sound effects do start to get annoying once you get games that last a long time. Thankfully, those can be muted easily. The other cons do show the game's age a fair bit and show how Tetris has advanced since its inception. First, there's only one rotate key, and it rotates counterclockwise. I actually looked up and played old versions of Tetris for this, by the way, and this was normal for the time. On versions like DOS and even the original Electronica 60 version, counterclockwise rotation was the only way. Nowadays, you always have two rotate keys, and clones like Quadra or Dita even let you rotate 180. Secondly, there's only hard drop, and oh boy, I'm going to have to explain soft and hard drop. Well, the concept is simple. Hard drop slams the piece instantly to the bottom of the screen, and soft drop just makes the pieces drop faster. For old ports, you only had one of these options, and this is the tricky part of all this. This was different depending on your version. From the original Electronica 60 version, there's always been a hard drop, but when the game made the switch over to consoles like the NES and most famously the Game Boy, they went with the soft drop instead. It would take a while before Tetris would get both, just like the rotate buttons, and now this is essentially standard on any Tetris game. So hard drop only for a PC Tetris game was also the norm at the time. In fact, the Game Boy version, which would introduce soft drop, didn't come until 1989, the same year as this game was made. Okay, the arcade games may have come first in late 1988, but who played the arcade versions of Tetris? Incidentally, the Game Boy version was also the first to let you rotate both ways. Yes, I did research to put this in context of the era. You're welcome.
You meant to do that,
In conclusion, compared to Tetris games now, it might seem slightly clunky, but if you like Tetris games, you should play Wesleyan Tetris. It's different enough to make it a fun alternative to the classic, and that novelty lasts past all the taunts, burps, and farts. This works perfectly in Mini VMAX, so it's remarkably easy to download from the Gardener repository and play, and it plays nice with any old Mac. Put short, you should have this game in your collection.
Game over, man!
I'm Tanara Kuranov, and the revolution will be on Macintosh.